everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today we are going to make a fall inspired card. It is beginning to feel like fall here, so I thought that I would do a fun card using one of the new sets from the holiday catalog. This is called Pick a Pumpkin. This comes as a bundle or individually, so you can see the different pumpkin options you have. You have a few cute faces here and then some more foliage. And then the thinlits that coordinate with this are called patterned pumpkins. So you can see you have a nice large one here that I love with the different detail. Here's another one with stars, a bunch of fun little pieces to create little projects, so we're going to use that today as well. And then the sentiment, the thankful, grateful, blessed, I got from the Paisleys and Posies stamp set, which is in our annual catalog. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. For our card base, I am using a piece of thick vanilla, very vanilla. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a regular piece of very vanilla. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This is the piece that we are going to emboss, and we are going to be using the Pine Wood Planks Dynamic Folder. So this is the wider and thicker embossing folder from our catalog, so we're going to use that. We're also going to use the Wood Crate Framelit to get our little crate. And then as far as colors, with ink pads, I'm using Crushed Curry, Pumpkin Pie, Garden Green, Cajun Craze, and Sahara Sand. Alright, so let's start with the embossing. And really, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dynamic folder. When you place your paper inside the folder and run this through the machine, this will be your emboss side. I just want to get the look of the pine wood planks, so I'm going to take my Sahara Sand and I'm going to add ink to the inside of my embossing folder. Okay? Just like that. And then I'm going to lay my piece in there, and then we can still run this through the Big Shot, because if you decide that you do want to change your mind, you can do that. So for the dynamic folder, because it is thicker, you have a different sandwich. You are going to use the Big Shot platform, your dynamic folder with your paper, and then one clear acrylic plate. Okay? And we are going to run this through. Okay, so like I said, you will see that my top piece of my paper is what got embossed. Okay, but I did get that color onto the other side. Then you can take a baby wipe and just wipe out your folder. And then I'm all clean and ready to use for the next time. Okay, now you could also have ran your piece of paper through the embossing folder and just sponged on some of your color. That would be fine too. So just keep that in mind. Those are your kind of different options. We are going to use the Big Shot again, but first we're going to have to do some more stamping. So we are going to open our Cajun Craze, our Garden Green, Pumpkin Pie, and Crushed Curry. And then I'm just going to stamp. I have a scrap piece. We'll see how many I can fit on this scrap piece of Whisper White. I'm going to start with my larger pumpkin. Make sure that's inked up. Perfect. And then I'm going to do one of that same pumpkin in the pumpkin pie. My pumpkin pie is very juicy. Okay. And I think we could fit a couple of the gourds. I'm going to do some Garden Green gourds. I love using my scraps for smaller images like this, so I'm going to continue to just pull those in. I think I'm going to do a gourd in the Crushed Curry as well. Okay, we have another pumpkin here. And you could do as many. I wasn't sure when I started this project how many I was going to want. So I just did a bunch and figured I'd decide how I'd fit them in. Let me take some pumpkin pie in this other pumpkin. And then there's one little pumpkin here. Let's do some more Cajun craze. Alright, so that should be good. Actually, let me stamp my sentiment too while I have my ink pads out. Let me close these others. Set those out of our way. I do just have a scrap, again, of Very Vanilla. And you just want to make sure your scrap is big enough for the sentiment. And I'm going to stamp that in the Cajun craze. Perfect. Alright, now we're going to do a bunch of Big Shot to trim out all of our pieces here, as well as a few more. And we need to do our crate as well. Alright, so let's grab our Big Shot. I do have my magnetic platform in there as well as my precision base plate. You do not need the precision base plate to do this kind of die cutting. I just tend to leave mine in there. Our pumpkins. And I will probably fast forward this, guys, so you can see, just so it doesn't take so long. Now we have these two squirrely pieces, and I'm going to cut a couple of those out of Garden Green to just add some more of that color to our project. Okay, and now we just need to run our crate through our Big Shot. And we are going to do that with a piece of soft suede. Okay, and with our crate, I'm really only concerned about this part here, these 3 slots. So I'm just going to lay my die right off the paper. Since I'm not actually creating the crate, I'm just going to run that through. Right, so now we can go ahead and begin to assemble our card here with all of our pieces. I'm going to take my crate, and you can see there are score lines here. I know it's hard to tell on camera. You can take your trimmer or use your scissors. And actually, I trust my trimmer to give me a straighter line, so I am going to do that. I'm going to line up that score line right on my trimmer and trim off these pieces. Perfect. And I don't need this little piece either. Looks good. Okay, you can use those for your scraps. And then I'm just going to, I see a little hair here, I'm just going to trim that off. If you have any rough edges, just take a little sand block or nail file and just rub that off. Okay, so we're going to take our embossed piece. I'm going to add some fast fuse. And we are going to lay that down just like that. Okay, and then we are going to use a bunch of dimensionals. I found that that was probably the best way. I'm going to start with the 2 tall pumpkins, and I'm going to just lay a dimensional on the back of those. And what I'm going to do is just lay my crate, okay, here, so I can kind of see the width of the crate. And then I'm going to lay down my pumpkins, and I think I'll raise this one a little higher. Okay, so I'll put some more dimensionals onto all of our pieces. Then you have a few of the squirrely pieces that we cut in the garden green, and I'm just going to use my multi-purpose glue, and I'm just going to touch those a bit more of that color in, you know. So I think I'll stick that one there, pick this one up. I like to kind of put it even a little behind. I think I'll set it there. Okay, so with our burlap trim, I know I just mentioned this in one of my recent videos, if you cut this, you can pull the pieces apart away, so you'll have a little bit of twine, jute, however you prefer. I'm going to pull these two apart here, and that will give me a piece. And what I'm going to do is wrap that around the top of my crate. Okay, I'm going to use my fast fuse to hold that for me. I'm going to tie a little bow. Alright, and then we're going to add some more dimensionals. So I'm going to put one there, do about 5. And you can decide like how you want to layer this. So I think I'm going to stick that right there. So I look like I have a nice full crate. And then we just have our sentiment left. So I'm going to get my larger scissors. And I really just trimmed this down. So I'm going to just cut this out. And just trim this close. I think I'll take a little bit more even off the top. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to add the fast fuse directly to the back of that. And we're going to stick that right here on our crate. And that completes our card. Love it. Seems very fallish to me. I love this Pick a Pumpkin set. I think you can add so many fun dimensions and layers to your projects. So as always, guys, I thank you so much for watching. If you would like to purchase any of today's products, you can find those in the full supply list in the description of this video, as well as on my blog. And I look forward to being back with you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.